Hello, calculus students. Yay, math. All right, you've learned the product rule. You've learned the power rule. You've learned the quotient rule. Today it is time for the chain rule. Chain, chain, chain. I won't sing anymore for you. All right. First, we're going to try to see if we can kind of figure out what the chain rule might be before I actually teach it to you. So the chain rule happens when we're trying to take the derivative of something and there's a function inside another function. So how do we deal with that? So instead of just like sine of x, what if it's sine of 3x? All right, now you're going to need your graphing calculator, your lightsaber, so get that out, get it ready. First thing we're going to do here is we've got sine of x. We're going to find what is sine of pi. So the sine of pi, as you know, that's just 0. And then we got g of x here, the sine of 3x. Well, so what's the sine of 3 pi? Well, sine of 3 pi, that's the same thing as just pi, because you've just gone around the circle once more. And that's going to be also 0. Down here, what is f prime of x? Now this one we know how to derive, so let's see. That's going to be cosine of x. And so what is the derivative at pi? So what is the cosine of pi here? What is the slope of sine of x when x is equal to pi? Cosine of pi is just -1. All right, g prime of x in this one. We don't know this yet, so we're going to skip this line for now. G prime of pi. Here's where I need you to get out your calculator. Go to Math, go to NDeriv. You're going to go to, then it should pop up with d over d blank. You're going to put an x in there. Sine of 3x, close the parentheses around 3x. There's a line right here. Down here you're going to put the x, and then you're going to put pi in here. And once you hit equals, you should get a value of -3. And we'll talk about why soon. Down here, same thing. All right. H of x is x cubed. H of 2 would be 2 cubed, which is just 8. H prime of x, it's going to be 3x squared. And if I do 3 times 2 squared to get h prime of 2, that's going to get me 12. Okay. Over here is something kind of similar. We got something cubed, except there's something different on the inside. It's not just x anymore. So if I'm taking j of 10, which is probably hard to see, but j of 10, if I plug 10 in here, 1/10 times 10, well, that's just 1, plus 1. That's going to give me 2 cubed. 2 cubed. Well, same answer, it's 8. We don't know j prime of x yet. Down here, though, we're going to find j prime of 10. Again, go to Math, NDeriv. And then it's going to say d over dx. And I want you to put 1/10 times x plus 1. But we're going to put this in parentheses, raised to the 3rd. And we're going to put, should be a box down here, you're going to put the x in there, and you're going to hit equals. And we're going to put the value of 10 in there. All right. Hit it, get the answer, and what do you get? You should get 1.2. Again, we will talk about why in just a moment. But how is this comparing to this? How is this compared to this? Where are we getting? How are we going from -1 to -3? How are these different? You may see it. This one's got a 3 in it. This one does not. How are these different? This one I'm multiplying by 1/10. And this one I am not. So what's the answer to this? Here's why. The derivative, if you got a function inside a function here, we're going to take the derivative of the outside function. So we're going to ignore what's in here for right now. Okay, we're just going to ignore it. The derivative of f would just be f prime. We're going to leave the inside alone. And then we're going to multiply it by the derivative of the inside. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the chain rule. Oh. Put a memory star on here. Give this one a red lightsaber. Sith Lord. Alright. This is absolute necessity. You're going to use this all year long. Chain rule. So how did we get this? Well, the derivative of sine of x, if I'm just taking the derivative of the outside function, the derivative of sine of x is cosine of x. We're going to leave the inside alone. 3x. Now we're going to multiply it by the derivative of 3x, which is just 3. And that's why we got negative 3. Cosine of 3 pi would be the exact same thing, but it would be negative 1, but we got the 3 to 3 times it. Down here, I've got a box something cubed. Okay? The derivative of something cubed is 3 times that something squared. Now this happens to be 1/10 x plus 1. Then I have to multiply it by the derivative of the inside. So what is the derivative of 1/10 x plus 1? Well, it's just a slope. Since that's just a line, it's just a slope, it's going to be 1/10. So that's why even though this was 12, this was 1.2 because that is 12 times 1/10. So we did again. What we do is we take the derivative of the outside function, leave what is inside alone. That's very important. And then multiply by the derivative of the inside. So, right here, what we need to do is we need to figure out what is the outside function, what's the inside function. That's all we're doing on these. So what's the outside function for this? Well, the outside function would be the square root function right there. The inside function would be the sine of x. Now remember, the square root is really just something to the 1/2. So if I were deriving this, I would take, what's the derivative of something to the 1/2? It's 1/2, using the power rule, whatever, to the negative 1/2. Then I got to deal with the derivative of the inside. Well, the inside here is this. The derivative of the inside, derivative of sine, is cosine of x. That's there. We're leaving the sine of x on the inside alone for now. And so that's our answer. You can simplify it if you want to. I wouldn't bother with it. On this one, big key here is what's the outside function? The outside function is something to the 8th. The inside function is 6x squared plus 3. So if I'm deriving this, what's the derivative of something to the 8th? It's 8 something to the 7th times, I'm going to take the derivative of the inside now. The derivative of the inside is 12x. And we'll leave this inside stuff here, right there. On this bottom one down here, what is the outside function? Outside function is cosine of whatever. The inside function is x cubed plus 4x. So if I'm deriving this through the outside function, the cosine is negative sine of whatever it is. And then I'm going to multiply that by the derivative of the inside function. The derivative of the inside function right here, if I derive this, that's going to be 3x squared plus 4. But I leave the inside alone when I'm deriving the outside function. So, that's the chain rule in a nutshell. Next few videos are just going to be practicing and looking at some specific cases. But the chain rule is, you've got a function inside another function. When you derive it, the derivative of the outside function, take the derivative of the outside function, leave the inside function alone, then you multiply by the derivative of the inside function. Alright, thanks for watching.